Okay, so cool. It looks like I'm recording now. I got my three. This is an experiment, right? I'm still testing this stuff out. I got two inputs. My video input, because I'm on a Windows, I think the video is also attached to the audio input, so it's all coming through the webcam, the video and audio, and then I got an additional Windows input, which is going over my video input, and it has a transparency filter on it, and it's allowing me to write, which I think is hella cool. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a quick lecture. Um, let's see. I got two topics here. I got investing philosophy and I got investing math. Which one can I do? Let's do investing math. I'm not even prepared really for this, but math is a really good one for being able to demonstrate the my Windows input. Oh, let me keep this on. So, okay, investing math. Boom, investing math. Math. Okay, look, the first thing, look, a lot of people, man, when they're investing, when they start investing, they're they way underappreciate the importance of math. And a lot of times when I talk about math and all the different metrics and how they factor in, people's eyes glaze over, and it's almost as if I don't know, they feel like it's not important, but it is. Ultimately and fundamentally, that's all investing is math. So, look, the first term that I want to go over is cash on cash return. Cash on cash return. So, let's do that. Cash on cash return. Cash on cash return. That's the first number, man, that anybody investor has to be concerned about. Your cash on cash return is going to greatly it's gonna have a large impact on how fast you can grow. You got to have a good yield. Not only that, but like the amount of like actual assets that you need to hold, the stronger your cash on cash is against that you're getting off of that those assets, the stronger that is, the less you'll actually have to own in terms of the whole volume of your real estate portfolio because your cash on cash is a percentage, right? It's like a percentage yield. So it's the stronger that cash and cash percentage rate is, you don't have to add, the less you have to actually own. So let's do an example of that. Okay, I got a property, right? Let's say I bought a house. House, I bought it for 100 grand. Okay, can you see that in there? I didn't do a very good job. Okay, 100 grand. 100 grand. Now, I'm going to way oversimplify this for the sake of just getting our point across. Let's say our down payment is 20 grand, 20% down payment. Now, I know the objectors are going to say, yeah, well, there's a lot more cash down than just the 20 grand. There's the $20,000 down plus closing cost and so on and so forth. You know what? Matter of fact, for the sake of just factoring in all things, let's say it's a 20% down payment, right? Which would be 20 grand. And then again, I'm oversimplifying this, and these numbers are going to not be 1,000% realistic. But let's add another 10 grand for closing cost and for like, okay, after you purchase the property, you're going to do a little light rehab, paint, cleanup, and all that stuff. So an additional 10 grand, right? So that brings it from 20 to 30. So your cash in on your investment 30 grand, right? All right. So that 20 grand. Now remember, the loan on that property now is 80 grand, right? Down, I'm again oversimplifying it, but uh, purchase price of 100 grand, down payment 80 grand, loan balance is 80 grand. Let's take out the calculator. So, oh, actually, by the way, I always carry around a little mortgage calculator. Always want to have a little. Oh, you can't see that, but there you go. You can probably maybe you can see a little bit that mortgage calculator. Let's see, is that visible? Now it's gonna allow me to put in all the inputs. So 80 grand. Back when I started, let's say the interest rate was 5%. 5%, 30-year fixed. Okay, 80 grand, 5%, 30-year fixed. That is a 400 and I don't know if you can see that. $429 a month. Yeah, you can't see that. It doesn't work very well. But trust me, 430, let's say 430 a month. But when you add the taxes and insurance, the taxes are going to be like 125 grand. Insurance is going to be about I'm sorry, $125. Excuse me. The insurance is going to be let's just say 70 bucks. Let's say 65 bucks. 65 bucks. And then actually that house it had a $70 association due, so I'll just add that to it. So $690. Okay. Okay. And then let's just say for that house, I didn't pay utilities, but let's say the maintenance was like $75 a month, which would have brought my total expenses to $765 per month. The rent that I was getting was $1,300. Again, in the future, what I'll do is I'll put the calculator on the screen. But for now, I'm just holding it in my hot little hand. So, okay. All right. So the rent was $1,300 a month, right? On that house. So $1,300 a month minus the 765 a month of expenses equals $535, right? So now let's get that five, what did I say? 535, and multiply that times 12 months. And that would give us $6,420 per year. Okay? So now multiply or divide that over the amount that's 6,400, by the way, is the amount of cash, or excuse me, profit that we're getting from that property every month after paying for the mortgage payments, the association dues, there were no utilities in this case, but repairs and all that kind of crap. 6,420. So let's get that 6,420 thousand or 6,420 dollars a month, and divide that over what was our cash in the beginning? 30 grand, baby. And then that equals not much space on the screen, huh? What does that equal? That equals 21.4. So 6420 divided by 30 grand equals 21.4%. 0.214. 21.4%. So that's the cash on cash return. That's about right. That's about what it was in the beginning. Cash on cash. In other words, sum it all up. With $30,000, little tiny little dollar sign there. With $30,000, I was able to yield, get a 21.5% yield off of that cash on cash return. Bam! That's the bottom line. Cash on cash return, super duper important. The next metric I'm going to talk about, okay, yeah, this video was 11 and a half minutes so far. So that's not bad. The next video that we're going to talk about is, again, it's going to be a very, very important metric. This was cash on cash return. The next one is going to be DSCR, which stands for debt coverage. Oh, excuse me, debt service coverage. What do you think that R stands for? You got it. Ratio. And what that's going to talk about, what that's going to describe for us, is the how safe our investment is. Because we want our rent on that property to be way higher than the mortgage payment. If your mortgage payment is $1,000, you want your rent to be $2,000. That's a debt service coverage ratio of 2, which is woo, gangsterific. That's how I do it. That's actually much, much higher, therefore much, much safer than what even the standard norm, if you will. But that's how I really like to set up my situation, because it suits me, and I think I like safety. Sue me. Okay, so there it is. Hopefully this video is the audio worked on this video, and maybe I'll be able to share this info with somebody. My boys Rob and Jarrett, you guys are going to be the first to hear this, and I'm sure you guys already are very much familiar with these concepts, but just humor me for the time being. Out.